There are about 1,200 people who have had to have one of the hardest conversations that any family could have, and they've had to have it not just about losing their job, but about losing their job in the next 2 years. As you know, Ford is going to cease production in Australia. This is something that is very serious because it is not just the 1,200 people who lose their jobs in Geelong and Broadmeadows, but also the people who work for the small parts manufacturers right around the country. There are people who work in factories that make the headlights that eventually make their way to the factory that then go into the Falcon. What's going to happen to those people? And while it's fine for the Prime Minister and other political leaders to say, we're there for you, we'll hold your hand, we'll take care of your workers, it's just not true. What is that bloke going to do who's been working at Ford for the past 23 years? It's not like he can go off to TAFE and then suddenly become an internet billionaire. What is that guy supposed to do? What is the manufacturing job that he is supposed to go off and do? Of course, most people don't care, and only in a couple of weeks' time we'll hear about the great jobs record of this government, when the reality is that what has happened under this government is that, yes, there have been a lot of jobs created, but a lot of those jobs have gone from being full-time jobs to part-time jobs. A lot of the jobs have changed in sectors like the motor industry and have now changed into part-time work. If you are that bloke who's been working for Ford for 23 years and you end up in some sort of part-time work to desperately make ends meet, good luck trying to have holidays. Good luck trying to make sure that you can go and get an extra loan. Good luck being able to try to live the life you currently do. And it's one thing for politicians to cry their crocodile tears today saying that they're going to help. Well, where's the true test? Not just of the people who are going to lose their jobs as a result of the decision of Ford, but what about the people who work for the subsidiaries, those small part manufacturers that I mentioned? I also wanted to show you something about just how hollow politicians' words are on days like this. Here is the Prime Minister's very own press briefing. That's from her own website, and it was on the 12th of January back in 2012. This is when the federal government, along with the state government, threw $103 million into the bank account of Ford to guarantee that the Ford Falcon and Ford Territory will continue to be made in Australia. Both cars will no longer be made in Australia and 1,200 people will lose their jobs. The statement from the Prime Minister read at that time. The Prime Minister said today's announcement was great news for the future of the automotive industry in Australia. With a rising dollar and fierce competition from other countries in our region, we need to be investing in manufacturing products that are innovative and competitive. This is January of just last year. It's May of this year, and these people are going to lose their job. The Prime Minister continued. This is exactly the type of investment that we identified in the Future Jobs Forum. Does anyone even remember that? And the PM's Manufacturing Task Force to help shore up the future of our manufacturing sector. And here's the bit that I think every one of those workers who've lost their job today and every one of those workers who will apparently be being helped by the government should have a listen to. This is the same government that gave the same company that sacked Australian workers today $103 million just in January of last year. It's smart, it's competitive, and best of all, it will secure jobs, not only in Victoria, but across the nation. Those were the Prime Minister's proud words when she found $103 million and gave it to a company that ultimately sacked every single one of the workers that she was claiming to protect. Now, I don't know what the details are of these deals, but surely when you give a company like Ford or Holden or any of these companies $100 million of taxpayers' money, surely there's something in the back end that if they decide to sack everyone, it's not just the taxpayer who needs to step in again and try and help these people find jobs. Surely it's the company that has to do something. But then again, as the CEO said today, we will try to find these people other jobs, but they just don't like their chances. Once again, they're the Prime Minister's own words. And before we start falling over ourselves about her words today, just remember, her words today are just as hollow as the words that she said when she gave this company $103 million in January of last year.